Welcome back to La Flamme for the first of 2 days of competition in two-man bobsled. At the start, USA 1, Herschel Walker, the brakeman for Brian Scheimer of Naples, Florida. This pair considered the best hope for a medal for the United States in the bobsled competition.
They got a little lucky too, Sean, drawing the number 2 start number. There's a lot of luck of the draw here. I estimate it's about 5 or 6% of your finish time is where you stand in that draw. And of course, the draw also deals with weather conditions. And today, weather conditions are very optimum for these guys right now.
Herschel Walker, as a bobsledder, John, this is just his second competition. But he feels that he is the best brakeman in the world right now.
Well, he's a very confident athlete and probably the most inexperienced in competition, but we'll see right here.
Here we go! Ready!
Anything below 6 seconds is super. 6:14. I don't like that at all. That start time should have been 6 seconds or below. Scheimer already drifted off to the left wall up top, so I thought that to be competitive with the Germans, they would be near the Germans' start time. The Germans were having below 6 second times, so they aren't off to a good start.
Scheimer also considered an excellent pusher and driver. He is formerly a pusher, competed in Calgary in that role in 1988 on a 4-man sled.
Yeah, and he's only 400ths ahead of that Swiss at the start. That's not a good sign at all either. 125 kilometers, 77-mile-an-hour speed, so he's got a hustle on the bottom. He's still 300ths behind the Swiss. This is not a good heat for Scheimer. He's just nicked right there down in the finish. He'll probably be above that. 1:34. Not a good heat for Brian Scheimer. He would have had to at least beat the Swiss sled. Here's the important start that I talked about. Let's watch Herschel's entry into the sled. He's in really quick there and tucks himself down perfectly, but I think he could have run a little bit farther. Here's a mistake, I think. Comes off this corner here with a little bit of pressure, too much pressure up top at this slow speed. Comes over here and just grazes that left-hand side. That's probably why he's behind the Swiss sled at the next clock.
Now Great Britain 1. Driven by Mark Tout. The brakeman is Lenny Paul. Tout's 30 years old from London. He finished 18th in the two-man competition at the 88 Games in Calgary.
I believe they're going to beat Scheimer and Walker at the start. I thought Scheimer and Walker should have at least a 6 second time. Good athletes here themselves. 6:08, there it is. So Scheimer and Walker had no cohesiveness at the start, and it showed with that start. They should have been down there 6 seconds. And there's going to be a lot of people that have faster starts and faster finish times because of that deficient start. And that's where Scheimer bumped up here, and he also bumped down on that finish straightaway. So Scheimer didn't get off to a good start, and the other competitors are probably going to sneak in front of him.
The last British medal in bobsled competition in the Olympics was back in 1964.
It's a long time for the Brits. And boys, he got some tremendous press in the British papers. They really expect him to win a medal. They've been really all over him.
Would you say that Mark Tout has been highly touted by the British press?
He's been beyond that, and his nickname's Stanley, and he's probably one of the best comic relief men we have up there on the bobsled track. Oh, he got off that corner 18 a little late, that'll cost him, but I think he's going to be below that time. He is 1:00:10. He carried more speed into the speed trap and had the superior start time. That's why he's number 1 at the bottom.
Canada 2.
Now Canada 2. Driven by Dennis Marino. Christian Farstad is the brakeman.
He's like the Swiss sled, gets up a little bit at the start, but boy, he's a great driver down the track. He's really taken advantage of that Calgary track. It's a very easy track to drive, but very technical. It's a great place to really hone your skills up there, and he has really come out of the Canadian program this year, and a great driver down the track. You won't see him make any mistakes, but he gives up a little bit at the start.
It's a very competitive Canadian program. They had a race off here And Chris Laurie was the odd man out. Greg Haydenluck will also drive in the two-man bobsled competition for the Canadians.
Probably around a 6:20 start. 6:13. They beat Scheimer and Walker. Whoa. I tell you, I don't know what happened up there, but before this competition's over, we're going to see Scheimer and Walker down to that 6-second start. Now, this Marino, if he drives the track that he's been driving all week long in practice, he should be #1 at the bottom. Again, he's a fantastic driver, Sean, and he's got great driving skills.
And the start that was better than Scheimer and Walker, particularly distressing to the Americans when you consider that Marino admits that he's a much better driver than he is a starter. He says this track suits him. He thinks the LaPlagne track, the start is not as important as it is at other tracks. It has a lot of turns, so his driving skills can be used.
Well, he might have made a mistake up there before the speed trap because he should have the same speed as the British sled.
Heading for the finish line in second place at the moment. 1 minute, .19.
Well, one thing about a good starting driver, I think he's a little too high above that push bar. He should get down a little bit behind it like a bench press. You want to thrust that bar out in front of you. The driver's in quick, or the brakeman's in quick, tucks his head down for aerodynamics.
Get ready at a start, number 5.
Coming up next, the favorite in the competition, Gustav Vader of Switzerland, when we return to LaPlagne.
We interrupt this recession for an important announcement. Payment Protection Plus is here. Buy or lease a new Volkswagen now, and if you incur a layoff during the first 3 years of your finance contract, we'll cover your car payments. Plus, we'll cover your car insurance payments. And the best part, you never have to pay us back. Up to $500 a month for up to a full year. Payment Protection Plus. Call now. It's revolutionary, and it's only from Volkswagen.
Dave doesn't know about this, but Reebok gave me this top-secret running shoe. It's called the Pump Graphite. This arch design makes them very light, supportive, and I have the only pair in existence. They won't be available to the public until spring, but I get special treatment because Reebok really wants me to win in Barcelona.
To be settled in Barcelona.
It's not easy to pull yourself away, pull yourself away, pull yourself away from a bowl of Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
Flight 421, you're cleared for takeoff. Do you read?
Those 2 scoops of raisins taste so good, you'll find that once you start, you can't leave behind those 2 scoops that taste too good. Pull yourself away. 2 scoops that taste too good, too good, too good. In Kellogg's Raisin Bran, 2 scoops.
As the largest hotel chain in the world, Best Western can take the worry out of your business trip, no matter what suit you're wearing. Best Western, as individual as America itself.
You can count on big savings during Sears President's Day sale. This Craftsman 4-horsepower chipper shredder is at Sears' lowest price ever, just $349.99. You save over $130, and there's more, so get to Sears today.
Watch where you're going, kid. Quit calling me kid.
Before we get back to bobsledding, a reminder that still ahead this afternoon, we'll look at an American hero, speed skater Dan Jansen. And we'll meet Canadian figure skater Kurt Browning, who needs the performance of his life tonight to lift himself from 4th place back into gold medal contention. Right now, though, let's go back to LaPlagne, and here's Sean McDonough.
The first Winter Olympics were held back in 1924, just 2 hours north of LaPlagne in Chamonix, France. The bobsled got its start back in those games and got its name from the heads of the athletes bobbing forward to increase speed. With the exception of 1960 in Squaw Valley, bobsled has been a part of every snowy Olympiad since. Italy won. The driver is Günther Huber. If that name sounds familiar, he had 3 brothers compete in the luge competition here in La Plagne for Italy.
He could come right down now and smoke a time in. He was in second place in this World Cup test event here last year. Surprised a lot of people. Great driver. He lacks a little bit at the start.
Huber just 5'9", 176 pounds. Stefano Ticci is the brakeman.
Anything around 5:16, 5:17 be a good start for him. I think he's got a chance to have the fastest time at about 5, same time. I say 5, it's 6:14. Anytime that a guy like this, team like this, at the same time as Scheimer and Walker, you know they had a bad start. He hasn't had really great times all week long on the track. There's only one good heat. But coming out of the luge program, Shawnee had a tremendous advantage to learn the ice. As a luger, your head's down closer to the ice, you see things better. And the only thing he lacks in the bobsled program right now, I would say, is his ability to start the sled. And you notice he's clean. You don't see any head snapping side to side. Everything's going forward. And he's straight in the middle of all these straightaways.
And good speed at 78 miles per hour as he crosses the bridge, heading into the graveyard.
Hey, came off that corner a little late there, but he let the sled ride out. 1:36.
In 6th place at the moment.
I expected a better time out of Huber.
Now Switzerland 1, the favorite coming into this competition. The driver, Gustav Vader, a legend in this sport. Donald Auckland is the brakeman.
Well, all the sleds just came in front of him, not posting those good times. He likes it. 6:10 or better is what you expect out of this one.
Bobsledding is a fast and dangerous sport, which calls for courage and teamwork.
The American bobsled team's courage has been tested, and their teamwork has been questioned. They came to Lillehammer eyeing their first medal since 1956. But Brian Scheimer's 13th place finish in the two-man was a sign that this would not be the year. Gustav Vader of Switzerland has demonstrated the courage to win Olympic gold on more than one